Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Meet the Candidate. We are meeting a new candidate today from District 9. This is Cris Fontenot, and we're going to get to know her. I have a couple questions we're going to be asking, and she is going to let us get to know her a little more. So, hi, Cris. Thank you for joining me for this interview, and I'm so glad to get to meet you and introduce you to the viewers.
Good morning, Abby, and thank you so much for putting this platform on for people to get to know me. That's great.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, they need to get to know you because you're a pretty special lady. So before I jump into question number one, I do have a quick question. You go by Cris and it's spelled differently. Is your name Christine or Christina?
I have a compound name. It's Maria Cristina, and Cris is short for Christina because my grandmother's name was Maria Cristina and my mother's name was Maria Cristina. So everybody called my mother Tina, and I became Cris. So
Awesome. I love that because I know like in a lot of cultures, the dad's name is passed on and it becomes a junior. So that's fascinating. I love that. Is
yeah,
that part of your culture where you pass the mom's name on?
it is. It is. I actually have a cousin that has my same name. So not only was my grandmother my mother, but also a cousin and myself. So yes, it is a tradition that we pass down.
I love that. That's beautiful. I think that's fantastic. Well, good. Let's go ahead and jump into our first question. Our first question is, who is Miss Cris in a nutshell?
So my name is Cris Fontenot. I am running for school board District 9 in Madisonville. I was originally born in Cuba, so I am an immigrant. I came to this country when I was 12 years old. And we settled in New Orleans. I went to high school in New Orleans. And I worked for Tulane University and got my degree from Tulane University. I'm very much a conservative, have been a conservative all my life. That was something that was rooted coming from our parents. And my parents had to make some very hard decisions and leave Cuba because of communism. And it actually took our family 8 years for all of us to be reunited.
Wow.
So I remember the government control with everything, with education, with everything that you own. They took everything that you own away from you, and everything belonged to the government. Nothing belonged to you, and in a way, including your children, because they're very big in indoctrinating, not educating.
Wow. Wow. So you have some unique perspective and understanding of how important it is to teach your children and not
Correct.
indoctrinate them.
Correct.
Fascinating. Okay. Well, very good. Well, it's nice to meet you, Miss Cris. Number two, why are you running as a candidate in your District 9?
I'm running as a candidate in my District 9 because of some of the things that I just answered. Because I remember being a kid and going to school under communism. And as a child, you go along with what the teachers are doing because they're your authority. You listen to them. You're supposed to listen and abide by what adults tell you. And so what they do in the classroom is they start teaching the children chants that are really indoctrinating and not educating, or sayings, or they change the curriculum. They change the verbiage in curriculum to start indoctrinating the children. And then before you know it, your child no longer thinks like you do in your household. And then the separation becomes very evident right away. As of right now, I see this, I hear this, and I smell this, and it smells rotten. And I want to be able to do something about what's going on in the school system to stop their indoctrinating and go back to educating.
I love it. And just to go along with that, do you feel like the current progression of the board is not doing that?
I do.
So that's why you stepped up to volunteer pretty much for this position.
Exactly, exactly. From what I see and what I hear, it appears as though the board right now just rubber stamps whatever comes across their desk as far as policy. and expenditure is concerned. And I think we need to be more vocal and really know what we're doing. What are we spending our money on? And what kind of policies are we passing along to educate our children?
I like it. That's great. Okay, let's go to question number 3. What are your top 2 or 3 biggest issues that you'd like to see change in our St. Tammany School Parish?
Well, I believe that our children and grandchildren need education in the fundamentals. So they need to learn how to read, how to write. They need to learn basic civics, history, geography, science, free of social agendas. I
Mm,
very much believe that.
mhm.
I also believe that our tax dollars should be spent wisely and transparently. So we need to know, what are we spending our money on, and is it working or not working? And if it's not, what can we do to change and improve things?
Mhm.
I believe that students, parents, and educators must all be supported and cultivated. So we need to listen to what the parents are saying. We need to listen to the educators so that we can be on the same page when it comes to educating our children. I think that's very important. And I believe that protecting the safety of our children is paramount. I think children very much rely on adults to take care of them, and they always feel safe around an adult. And we just need to make sure that that is the case, that they feel safe and that we're providing a safe environment for them.
I love it. Those are some great platforms. I think they're very needed in this district, so, or in this parish. Thank you. Okay,
Well,
number 4. How would you fix these issues that you have identified?
well, the issue of transparency in the money, I understand that they're working towards an open checkbook so that we can see, we the public, we the people can see how the money's being spent. So I believe that we're starting to make small changes there. I think we continue to do that. And as part of the school board, I think that we collectively need to take a look at that, how the money's being spent, and make sure that it's going towards the things that can make a difference. I hear that they're changing the curriculum every couple of years, and that my understanding is what's happening is they give that curriculum to the teachers the very first week of school, and there's no prior training to the week when school starts. So a lot of educators are scrambling to understand what it is that they need to be teaching and how they need to be teaching it. I think that we really need to listen to educators on curriculum. They know, they went to school to become teachers because they were passionate about it. They know what they need to do, but now everything is being dictated, whether it's because of federal dollars or whether it's the state or Bessie. So their hands are kind of tied. And I think that we need to make some changes there for sure.
I like it. Very good. Awesome. Thank you for that. Okay, number 5. What do you want the residents in your community to know about you?
I want them to know that I am dedicated, that I am loyal, that I am going to follow through with what I say. I am not going to rubber stamp policies just because it comes from above and we're being put pressure on to rubber stamp anything. I have never done that in my life. I believe that you need to um, follow your fundamental constitution of who you are. And I'm very much a conservative. I
Mhm.
will always be a conservative, and I am always going to do what I say that I'm going to do. I have the energy right now. I'm semi-retired. I have the time. I have the energy. But for and above everything, I am very passionate about doing this because I believe that the children are the foundation of our community and our social makeup of our community. That's very important. And it's important that we educate our children correctly so we set them up to succeed, not to fail.
I love it. That's fantastic. And my last fun question that I like to
Mm.
always ask is, what is your favorite Louisiana tradition?
Mardi Gras.
Of course.
So like I said, I'm originally from Cuba. So in Cuba, we had carnival And it was around the same time, because you know that all derives from a Catholic tradition of the ashes and getting ready for Lent. And I remember dressing up and going on the streets and going on parades. And I love doing that with my children. I always took them to the parades during the week because I always hit them early enough so they could go to bed early. I always took them to the beginning of the parade. They always had a great time. And then on Mardi Gras Day, having the Zulu parade and the Rex parade, and then everything that follows is just a fun-filled day event for the entire family. And so I love that Louisiana tradition of Mardi Gras.
I love it. That's awesome. I think a lot of people in this community do. And I think the schools actually do a really good job in, showcasing Mardi Gras to their classes and having the kids join in celebrations as well, which I think super fun.
Correct. Decorating golf carts and having their own little parade in the school and all of that is really fun. Children love to be a part of something, and they like to know that in a way we're all fit into something. That's very important for children. Fitting in is just very important.
Yeah,
So
being
yes,
part of something bigger than themselves and a tradition. I think that's very true.
exactly.
I love it. Well, I think that's it. Do you have any last minute things that you want to just add or say and let the voters know a little bit more of what you want to conclude with?
Well, I just want to conclude with the fact that I am asking for your vote. Once you see this video and you listen to what I'm about, I hope that you are aligned with my way of thinking. And I am asking for the vote for Madisonville District 9.
I love it. And I'll put your information so if they have any additional questions, they can reach out because I know you're very open to any sort of conversation. And I love that. I think that's going to make a really good school board member. And that's what we need someone that's accessible and accountable and able to be reached whenever they need to be.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Abby.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.